My number one piece of advice when choosing a tax preparer is to get a referral. You wouldn't go to a new hairdresser or a new doctor without checking it out first with your friends. So ask around and find out who other people are using and whether or not they like them. My second piece of advice is to make sure that they are properly credentialed and that they have a P10 number. And that's PTIN. And the P10 is required for all paid preparers, so don't let them tell you otherwise. If they don't have a P10, run away. In terms of things you want to avoid a tax preparer who is going to try to talk you into extra credits and deductions. And kind of a red flag on that tends to be tax preparers who will work on commission. And that's not to say that all of those folks are worth avoiding, but a tax preparer who's determining their fee based off of how much refund you can expect has an incentive to get you to maybe claim extra deductions and credits that you might not be entitled to. So be wary of tax preparers who don't offer flat fees. Again, that doesn't mean avoid them necessarily, but I would consider it a red flag. You also want to avoid any tax preparer who asks you to sign your own return as the preparer. There's a lot of scams going around these days. They tend to be tax preparers who do not have the P10 number that's required, and they tell their clients that they want them to sign returns that they prepared for compensation as self-prepared, and the theory is that your chances of being audited are going to be a little less. It's not true that a prepared return by a professional has any more chance of getting audited than a self-prepared return. And more importantly, if you sign that return as self-prepared, if something happens and you get pulled for exam, you can't go back to the tax preparer and say, please explain this to IRS. So if a tax preparer is asking you to sign your own return saying that you self-prepared it, walk away. Also, any tax preparer who isn't necessarily going to stick around after tax day is someone that I would avoid. Most of the correspondent audits, which are those letters that IRS sends to you asking you questions about your return, most of those are sent in July. If you rely on a tax preparer that opens up in January and closes April 16, they're not going to be around to help you if there's a question. So I recommend finding someone who's going to be open all year. And finally, if you're expecting a refund, make sure that the refund is coming to you. Be really wary of any tax preparer who suggests to you that they can have the money wired to them and they'll pay you later. That's not the way the IRS works, and that's not how you want to get paid.